Welcome to Reaper's Underground. We hope you survive.
All right. We are finally officially back, Reapers Underground. I've been doing some reviews as of late, but it's so refreshing to finally have some guests again. I've been getting hit up by directors left and right to do reviews of movies, so it was definitely my pleasure to do them, but I love being able to hang out with folks. So tonight I have two people that are actors, actresses in the upcoming film Hell's Gate, which is a ever-growing project. Some serious names are now coming into it as well, and it's getting very exciting. I remember actually trying to audition for it as well. I thought it was an amazing.
I know.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Oh no. Sometimes it's better to help promote than
I know, and Kelsey Kelsey was inquiring about like special effects too. And
oh, gotcha. And I just remember Aaron, the director, telling me that, so many actors had passed on it. I said, you can't shock me. Look at me. I'm fucking crazy.
A lot of
all about it.
A lot of actors passed on the scene that Robert Lizardo and I are in. The original way it was written, nobody was taking the bait. And
right.
I shot my shot with Robert and emailed him the sides. And I'm like, worst he can say is no. I didn't hear back. And I was like, do I do it? So I messaged him on Facebook, which I'd never done before. And I was like, oh, I just want to let you know I sent you an email because maybe he didn't check his email. And then he was like, yeah, I don't really want to do that. And I was like, oh, I completely understand.
He'll tell you straight up. He's a
no.
That's how it should be, though.
Exactly.
But
he's an artist too.
Yes. So together, we kind of collaborated, and I completely rewrote the scene for Robert and I. So that's
awesome. Hell yeah. And
then
another brother of mine, Bill Oberst Jr.
Yes.
Popcorn him fucking self. I'm like, ooh, all right, this is getting special.
And we got Bill Diamond now behind us.
Oh, shit. All right. Nice.
So, I mean, if anybody is a fan of Terrifier 3, Bill helped make that happen. So if he made that happen for them, imagine what he can make happen for us.
I always kind of feel like there's nothing that man can't do.
There isn't. I was at his studio the other day. We were working on like some Hell's Gate stuff. And I'm just like, I still get in awe. Like I've been there like probably a dozen times now. And I still am like, there's so much cool stuff in there.
Well, I don't know. When I read the script, I thought it was something special because, everyone loves cult stuff. And, I'm always a big fan of that shit too. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, or maybe you should. I don't know.
The Flavor Aid, man.
Although if you look into it, a lot of those bodies had circular bruise marks on their arm because they were injected.
Yeah.
Because they didn't drink the Kool-Aid.
So definitely something that I think everyone will enjoy. I mean, you think of films like Midsummer, and some of the other cult ones like Hereditary and stuff like that. I mean, that's a little bit different. It's a little bit more supernatural. But this one has like a little bit of a lot of action, a lot of Carnage. I think it's going to be like a crossover for a lot of people. That
We were trying to not just go for the horror enthusiasts, but Charles Manson is part of our story, and he has his own lore. And then also true crime buffs, they're going to want to see this. People that,
That's me.
Who the fuck isn't these days,
I know, right?
We try to make it so that we would be able to market it to multiple groups.
I think that is extremely smart. And I think a lot of time indie horror kind of misses that boat a little bit. They're just trying to stay within one dynamic. So, to be able to reach a wider audience, I think that's only going to make it more successful.
Let's not get it wrong. Boobs, blood, and whatever else, it sells.
For sure.
Yeah.
But script writing, a good story, I think also makes it that much better, because you could sprinkle that shit on film, any fucking time. But if the acting isn't great, if the script isn't great, or twists and turns and stuff like that, sometimes, it gets lost. But I think this will actually grow and be really something special.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It means a lot.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Reaper. I think if you have a good compelling story that can reel the audience in, you can have, let's say, new actors, people you've never heard of. Right. You can have inexperienced actors that if it wasn't a good story, you'd be saying, well, the acting sucked. But if that good story is there, you still kind of stay hooked into it. At least I do. I can overlook, because, I'm, no
timing issues,
acting god or anything, none of us are perfect, even at our craft. So
no, if you're not
learning every day,
I was going
to learn as you go. Absolutely.
If you ain't constantly learning, you're not evolving. And if you don't evolve, you're going to be dead in the water. And that's why I think a lot of us actors, myself and you guys and so many countless others, are constantly stepping out of comfort zones, doing different shit to try to get better.
Because I don't want to be typecast either.
Oh, trust me.
I
love doing creature acting. Grind was badass. The two corn zombie films are fantastic, but I don't want to do that forever. It's a safe place. It's a fun place, but at the same time, it's like, we need to do that. We need to try something different. Tell us a little bit about your character there, Otis.
I actually,
or whatever you can say.
Yeah, exactly. I can give you a good enough description. I play Keith Appleson, who, along with Samantha Tate, runs the Sprouts Wellness Center.
Nice.
Which is,
we just want you to grow.
Exactly. See, come grow with us.
You start as a little sproutling. You start as a little tiny seed, and we build you up and let you grow into who you're meant to be.
That's right.
Sounds like every corporate motto across the U.S.
No professional PR here, man. We just had Lydia. So
don't let Aaron do your social media.
Boom.
Marketing is key, and this is something I say on panels all the time. If you're not marketing, if you're not, knowing what you're doing, it can fall. It can go splat.
Absolutely. So Keith, he tries to bring that hope to some of the less fortunate, the degenerates, the ones cast out of society, for whatever reason, the vagrants, or, So as you can see, there's where you start picking up a little similarities with the Manson family, where even though with the Manson family, you had a lot of the girls who had an exceptional upbringing. You know, they had degrees and things of that nature. So they
Angela
weren't.
Lansbury's daughter.
Was that?
Angela Lansbury's daughter was hanging around with Charles Manson, and when she found out about it, she moved her entire family to Europe.
I did not know that. That's an interesting little tidbit.
Oh, we'll be covering a lot of that tomorrow night on Divine Madness. Me and Robert.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to be in the chat for that one. That's for sure.
Yeah, from my research, his research, man, there is so much more there than meets the eye. But still.
It's a rabbit hole.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
But,
so
continue, sir.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so basically, Keith, you know, his kind of motto is, you know, to kind of get over what you're dealing with. You have to kill your past. You have to be reborn.
Erase yourself. Yeah.
Yes, and be
Reinvent
reborn.
the wheel.
And Keith helps you do that. Well, there's some.
It's charisma and his use of psychedelic, you know,
counterparts. Yes.
So there, yes,
healthy products,
party favors,
natural.
Yes, yeah, natural.
I got you, Odie.
Thank you. So, yeah. What else can I add, Lydia? As far as Keith goes, sprouts are good with nacho cheese. Wait, wrong sprouts.
Gotta love Josh. Love you, Josh. By the way, check out my interview with Josh from earlier. It's up. Check it out.
Yeah.
It's nice to be on the other side of the interview chair.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you.
So if you know, obviously you hear the word cult, you immediately think of Charles Manson. I would say 95% of the population.
Yeah.
So how do you tie that into our story? You know, so Keith, while he's running his cult, we find out that it's actually an extension of the Manson family through the years that has still been building, and now Keith is in charge because Keith never knew who his father was. His mom was part of the Manson family, and he finds a photo of her. Finds a photo of Charlie, and he's just immediately drawn to it. He doesn't know why. He just has this feeling that he has this connection with this person. And that's, you know, he wants to continue on the work of him. So where Helter Skelter stopped, even though we know it's fake, Hell's Gate begins.
Thank you, government.
Yeah.
CIA.
So that was a very good description. I wasn't sure how much I could get away with. So.
Well, I've read the script about 100 times now. So
yeah, it's kind of ingrained. I mean, the link of bringing, you know, that history into modern times is something that no one's done. And I really like that because, you know, in today's society, there are so many different cults. You know, it's kind of a hot button issue, really. And taking, you know, one that's so fanatical and still popular to this day, even long after Charles met his end.
And not focusing on Charlie.
And that's the key. You're bringing something new to the table, and that's going to grip people that are enthusiasts of that time.
And I actually am in talks with the person who owns the rights to the Lie album to use 2 of the songs in the film.
That would be insane.
Because I think, you know, Charlie was all about the music.
Absolutely.
He really was.
We can't do this without his music.
Yeah.
Right.
So
not to take away that he was a criminal.
Oh
I mean,
no, yeah, fully
no
admit
matter
it.
what. But to me, his philosophical nature,
Mhm.
He's
his
brilliant. I mean,
his sense of loyalty,
yeah.
especially
Yes,
dealing with
when he
the
Bobby,
organized crime figures.
Yeah.
They loved Charlie. They loved him. All
Mhm.
the fucking mafia that was running Hollywood at that time, they absolutely loved him. And, his loyalty ran so fucking deep, he was willing to take the fall. So, but that's another
I
story.
think he took the fall because that's the only life he knew.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's where his comfort zone is, being in that cell.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know,
he
So
was able to
it
escape
didn't
it with
matter
his
to him.
mind.
Mhm.
which I
Yeah.
think for him is more than physically.
Right. That's higher consciousness right there at its
Yeah.
best.
Now, Lydia, you as good of a description, I guess, and little background on Keith that kind of segues into, before we get off of Keith, some the Keith tapes, which is going to have
Yes.
an interview. So if you want to learn more about Keith and what's going on with him and Sprouts and how maybe it all got started, we don't know yet.
Right.
What's going to be asked, but stay tuned. You can do that joining the Facebook group Hell's Gate the movie. I think that's the
It
That's the
has
title, I think.
well,
Yeah.
there's a page and then there's a group.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
if you type in Hell's Gate, you get the one thing that's not really used much. But if you do Hell's Gate the movie, that's the page we would love to direct everybody to, and also our Instagram, Hell's Gate the movie. Yes, so we're going to be starting the Keith tapes, and so that way, when you see the film, you kind of understand who Keith is more.
Mhm.
And why his character is the way it is.
Mhm.
And, hopefully we might be able to interview a few of the other people and find out why they're going the route that they're going.
Absolutely. How
Yeah.
about your character there, Lydia?
Well, I play Kelly, and I feel like Kelly is just lost, and she's heartbroken because her and her boyfriend Blaine had broken up, and he was cheating on her. She had given him her heart. What do I do now? I don't have that anymore.
That lost feeling.
Yes, I don't feel like I belong. I feel like nobody likes me, and I come across Samantha, and she brings me over to Sprouts, and now I'm surrounded by other people who they're lost and they're looking for something. They feel empty inside. I'm not alone anymore. So,
No, absolutely. It's easy to fall into that.
Yeah, especially you're down on your
when
luck.
you're that
just
vulnerable.
distraught mentally. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hook, line, and sinker. Sprouts is where you need to go. Come grow with us.
Suddenly, here's
and
these
Kelly,
people,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on
No,
you.
you're good.
I was saying Kelly grows the strength to actually go and confront Blaine,
What's up, Shonda?
So we'll see, because she loves him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, when you're lost like that, and this is definitely something I understand. It's like suddenly there's these people and they're welcoming you with open arms, and it's like, oh, this is a way out of my darkness, my dark moments, my dark thoughts. And that's pretty much, I think, I don't know if you guys agree, but that's what cults prey on.
Mm-hmm.
And not just cults really, but just people in general, people that like take advantage of folks. It's always at their weakest moments.
We actually recently had this discussion on the Hell's Gate page on Facebook, and I was curious, and I was like, what personality traits do you feel most of the people that end up in cults have? Like, what is it about them that is drawn to that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we had a lot of interesting answers. So
I'd probably say like trauma. Some people that have gone through some kind of trauma is one thing. You know, if they have people that haven't healed, stuff like that.
Yeah, and out of that trauma comes your insecurities and
Right.
all of these, you know, other issues under that trauma. So yeah, trauma. I can't remember exactly what.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh yeah,
I'm on it.
yeah, she's on it, man. I can't remember what I put, but I don't know if trauma was one of them. Being insecure.
Man, whoever runs this social media posts a lot.
I know.
It's a lot of stuff.
Trauma,
Here we
feeling like
go.
they don't
Okay.
fit in and don't have a support system, Mortimer said.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, Mortimer.
Meek
Thank you for
and
joining
shy.
back, brother.
Oh
Appreciate
yeah. Meek and shy people.
Yup. Like the socially awkward.
Yeah, but they're supposed to inherit the earth, so I don't know.
I said passive.
Depends on your path.
People pleasers.
Sure.
People who are codependent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those who need a desperate need of approval.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but apparently I just joined a cult. Knocking them off. Narrow worldview, fearful and addictive personalities.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
So I had questioned, I said, when you say narrow worldwide, as in they have only lived in one particular way because that's all they know, and then they see this as a new exciting opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And her reply was yes, and they're willing to believe extreme ideas because they don't know any better because they've never been exposed to it.
Yeah.
Right? They take on, you know, I see this all the time. People take on other people's views, and it's so easy to fall into that because, like you said, either they haven't experienced it or they're just not sure about themselves, self-confidence, you know, strong mental fortitude, all that shit.
I finally found Otis's comment. I feel like you were like mad at me when you wrote this.
Oh, no.
Low self-esteem, submissive, passive. And I said, passive, you really think so? Because the way I feel when I hear passive is they're just like, nah, like I'm just going with the flow. I don't know.
And that's why I said that.
This is what I wrote. I said, I guess I look at it as they don't care if they're accepted or not. That's what I thought of when
and I get that. Yeah,
to be accepted and want to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves, I think would also draw them in.
And when I typed that out, I guess I was coming from the mindset, okay, passive versus assertive.
Well, you had also written dominant right in front of it, or no, submissive right in front of it.
Yeah.
Wrong time of cult.
Now, let me throw a monkey wrench in there. Would you think a narcissist would also subscribe to this idea?
I think the narcissist is the cult leader.
No, this is my theory on that. My theory is a narcissist would join to take over it to show that he is really the best.
Yeah.
I could totally see that. We see that in leadership positions all the time. Corporate America. Come on. Anything for self-gratification. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I can see a narcissist coming in entry level trying to get to the top because it'd be easier to do that and work your way up, maybe with a quickness. But yeah, I see him eventually wanting to be the cult leader.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody wants the throne in those situations. I think we even saw that a little bit with like David Koresh with the compound, and I mean, the fucking Jamestown. That he was definitely a Class A narcissist, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, Jonestown, yeah, absolutely.
Or Jonestown. Oh,
yeah,
I actually was watching a show recently on cults. Surprise. And it was a cult I had never heard about before. And the leader was kind of like, he was trying to be an actor and he wasn't making it. And he was getting all of these people from LA joining. And it got to the point where he wanted to do like if he wanted to do plastic surgery, he would do the plastic surgery on one of the members to see how it turned out. And that whole one, and apparently he had described himself as celibate. And then it was leaked out. Now, this was a long time that he apparently was sleeping with everyone.
As cult leaders do.
That's like 101, isn't it, in their playbook?
And telling them that if they said anything, then they can't make it to basically nirvana or whatever the end goal was. So they had that trust in him, and nobody said anything for years.
There is.
I haven't heard that about that one, and I'm
gonna have to find the show.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool if you could give us that info, because it just goes to show you there's just no level of being maniacal that could be unturned in these situations.
Right. Woo. Yeah, and I looked at a lot of in the research for playing Keith. I did a lot of looking into sermons of different cult leaders, and then just looking in.
Agreed. Definitely.
To their story. Yeah, no, fear's a strong motivator. Yeah.
We know plenty of leaders that have done that throughout
history.
Vlad the Impaler for it's
right. Absolutely. A whole fence of impaled heads. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where I was going with that, but here we are.
I'll pick it up.
There you go. Pick her up.
I'll pick it up for you. So how do we bring Manson into the 21st century and make it modern and make it connect?
Oh, do tell.
Mon frere. Is that brother? I don't speak Spanish, Baxter.
I thought that was French.
Well, you guys are using a little bit of lineage, right?
I said,
as far as the script is concerned.
Not directly
direct descendants.
No. It's the members that maybe their kids are still in it, but Keith is just drawn to Charlie because Keith doesn't know who his father is, so he looks to him as his father. But what Charlie didn't have back then was an undercover FBI agent in the cult.
Yeah.
I was actually getting to that because that seems like one of the most, how do I want to call that? Dynamic roles within this, because, trying to lead that double life thing and do your job at the same time. I like the push and pull that's there.
I had actually asked on the Hell's Gate page, I think not yesterday, the day before. I said, if you were an undercover FBI agent, how far would you go to remain undercover, or at what point would make you break that cover?
Right.
Mm.
So,
Do you
I-
think in that instance that that particular undercover, agent gets close with some of these people, and it's kind of like the lines get blurred? Do you think we'll
I
see
think
something?
that's something that if you go to our Indiegogo and pre-order your DVD, you'll find out.
Which
It's
I've
like a
been
snake.
subliminally hitting you with at the bottom of the screen for all of
I
wonderful,
can't give everything away.
right?
Hey, I get where Reaper's coming from, because as a host, I try to pry out, all the little.
No, I'm not trying to like uncover secrets, so to speak, because that's the last thing I want to do, especially doing like live reviews of films. I want
Yeah.
people to go see it. I don't want to give away everything.
Absolutely.
So I don't want you to do that. I was just wondering, like, just your personal feeling. At what point do you think it's possible that an undercover agent might have some kind of a blurred line if they get close to somebody in these situations? Because in the drug drama type stuff, you see it all the time. They feel like this sense of loyalty to somebody, and they start
essentially Stockholm syndrome.
Job,
It's like Stockholm syndrome, but
Yeah.
they're actually kind of, kidnapping themselves and keeping them there.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not reverse Stockholm but you got what I meant. But yeah,
Yes, Mortimer. Yes, the Donnie Brasco-ism. Absolutely. Talk about somebody who didn't want to give Lefty up. He felt so close with him. Oh, man.
And, these women that are undercover and who are in relationships with this man, what if obviously you have to be intimate, because if you're together so long and they are, what if she becomes pregnant?
Exactly.
And now that's something she has to carry with her the rest of her life. Somebody had brought up a good one. They said that they would break cover if through their investigation, they found out they were innocent and somebody was coming to kill him.
Interesting.
Like, say a hit was put out on that person and the undercover had found out about it. He said he would break cover to stop that because he knew that he was innocent.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
That's why it's so hard, because it's like everything is such a split-second decision.
It really is. And I can't imagine what the internal struggle would be mentally on that. To do things that you would never do, but because of the job and what your mission is.
Look at narcotics.
Oh,
undercover narcotics officers. How are you going to be in the group if you're not doing the drugs?
You got to prove yourself somehow.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're not going to be believable. My brother, Robert Lacerdo, what is up, my man? He says,
I was just reading that.
Oh, okay. Charlie never broke Will red and blue while standing by that. You remove the Svengali element that leave the exploit on the floor. Danny DiCarlo snitched to the feds. Biker punk straight Satan snitches. Charlie had bunches of rats around him that made deals with the authorities. Yep. And we're going to be talking a lot about that tomorrow. But
did you get your copy of the book?
What's that?
Did you get your copy of the book?
No, not yet. Not a physical copy.
Yeah.
I've been reading online.
Oh, I could not imagine having to read that online. It's like a 500-page book, Otis.
Mm-hmm. I've just been doing it over time.
I don't like reading books online.
I like the bigger
I
print.
like the feel of a book, the smell of a book. You know,
Absolutely.
the little dog turned corners to remind you where, you know, when you're rereading, I stopped here before. How could I have stopped here knowing what I know now? You know, I guess that's
Exactly.
silly
Most
stuff.
Interesting.
And for the most part, that's the way I prefer. But I have a library that is overflowing at the moment.
Facts. Oh, I should really go buy that book, even though I still haven't read the book that I bought last time, but I need to go get this one or I just will not make it through.
Exactly. Nicholas Schreck's book, that's the one I really want to get my hands into because I haven't read it.
Oh, that's the book I was talking about. I'm sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Are you reading Chaos?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I have that in
I have
storage.
Chaos, but yes.
Yeah, I do too.
Yes, Nicholas, his book is like 500 pages.
That's because he deep dived like nobody else.
Oh yeah, he deep dove to where you see them fish with the fucking lights on. That's how deep he was.
Right. And the only one that I think that really got it, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But there, you know, so now we have all these elements. We have our cult. What does he want to do with it? Where is he going with it? What is the meaning of Hell's Gate to each and every person? And to what extent are they willing to go for this person and why? And having to be undercover and watch all of this go on around you, knowing that you're helping kind of ruin these people's lives.
Right.
You know, but I feel like we're just missing something. And it would kill me if I didn't remember. That was where you guys were like, the kills.
What about the kills?
What about the kills, Otis?
Again, don't want to give too much away, but do you feel like the level of gore is gonna, like, what level do you think that's gonna be on? Do you think it's gonna be heavy?
I'm not gonna, you know, everybody's gonna say they want to be the next Terrifier. Yeah, and
is that a goal?
A lot of not our film particularly, but that's
Good.
what I would say, you know, that's what everybody is going to be doing now.
I think that's ridiculous though.
So for us, you're going to see a progression of kills in this film. Some, I'm going to tell you, are fucked up.
Very.
Twice removed.
That's the thing.
So,
it's gore with a purpose.
Like, you're going to look at it and be like, did they really just do that? And I hope, Otis, you know what one I'm talking about.
I think I do.
Picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm pretty sure I am.
That's kind of what I think makes gore special, is when it's calculated. It's not just for shock value. It's certain situations that it comes out of nowhere, and that's going to stick in your head. Like when people saw Hostel for the first time, there's kills in there that stuck in their heads. You know what I mean? So many different films.
I don't know who Mortimer is, but
Mortimer is my co-host on the Horror Barbecue. Fucked up twice removed. You completely have my attention.
Thank you.
That's because we're gore whores here.
You know, if I'm not saying something that is going to draw your attention, then why would I say anything at all?
Right. Exactly.
I could be in the kitchen making a sandwich.
That's right.
Well, that's why
that was a joke on feminism, and man, my humor is not good with this crowd.
Listening on.
Well,
What
I
does-
was just going to say that's why.
Well, how about them Bills?
the Bills?
Buffalo Bills.
Not a sports fan.
But no, me neither. But to make a mention on your point there, with the kills, I think if the audience can relate to why a person's being killed, and I mean to a personal level, not just here comes the guy with the machete. We all love Jason, so don't take that I'm
Sure, it's
shitting
already
on
been
him.
done.
Exactly. Here comes the guy with the machete. And like
times.
you said, it's kind of just senseless slasher. But that's my favorite, genre of horror is slasher.
Sure.
But I think when you have
Yeah, I like psychological. I
exactly,
I like the psychological.
I don't know if we can be friends.
I love the psychological part.
So
of it.
I feel like those are the best. Minimize gore, like funny games.
Balance.
You don't see any of the kills. You hear everything that's going on, which just allows you to imagine what is going on.
It makes your audience have to like go into their own heads and be like, oh, what the hell just happened? And you get this whole picture in your mind that you don't even know if that's what was happening or not. You just know that it sounded bad.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the collector.
Yeah, and those those kind of kills where there's a deep reason on why the person is doing that.
They
to
deserve
somebody
that.
Else. you take and you cheer for that person.
Yeah, we always kind of go for that person is getting exactly what they deserve.
Exactly, right.
Like you're watching what's going on and you're like, I want to kill them.
Right. Exactly.
That person becomes an anti-hero at that point.
I'm talking about the guy in the wheelchair from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Poor guy.
Everybody hates poor Frank.
Okay, I'm glad you guys got that one.
Of course.
That would have been embarrassing for you.
For me. So that's basically, when it comes to kills, that's what you have to, kind of look forward to with Hell's Gate. You get that little true crime vibe, some undercover action going on. We mentioned, there's going to be a decent amount of gore, but it's not just a slaughter fest. Like I said, there's going to be reasons these people are getting are getting to their end that way. There's reasons, and we think, like we just mentioned, you're going to be like, oh hell yeah, man, get that mother for me once, you know what I'm saying? So you'll be cheering the killing on versus your typical horror movie, like, oh run, here he comes, you'll be like, yeah, get that
because it's not one bad guy going after all these people.
Right.
It's people just like you and me.
Yep.
That's what makes it relatable.
Just walked off the street and was just looking to belong. How many times in your life have you felt like you didn't belong? And to be to be accepted with open arms.
I still feel that way.
Right?
Now, do you think that there is some would it be okay to say that there might be some philosophical points of view in this film as well?
I think it I mentioned earlier about, well, what does Hell's Gate mean? When we were sold the narrative of Helter Skelter, it was that it was a race war.
Right.
So if we knew what that meant, we would need to know what Hell's Gate means. But Keith, I think you said, what was it? For them to be able to Why did you take that gummy?
Does it again. That's why I drink bourbon. Uh,
I'd already be shit-faced if I was drinking bourbon.
I'm a big man.
No, I think, I don't know if this is what
Takes
you
me a minute.
we're talking. I don't know. Oh, you talking about the one where, we're standing, and look around you, the world, it's hell out there. There's hell. We're standing at the at Hell's Gate, or something like that. Is that what
I
you're
forgot what my question was because you
So
took
kind of
so
a
long.
worldview is
I
what
know.
you're kind of saying.
Oh, so it's not
You
the
said
gummy's fault
what
now. It's because I
is-
took too long. I'm sorry, Reaper. What's that?
No,
No,
I'm
you're
perfectly
good.
fine. But
You
so
said what Hell's Gate means to
Yes,
you.
what Hell's
Like
Gate
there's
means
going to
to
be
you.
different points of view.
Yes.
Mhm. I love that. I think that's awesome.
Mhm. And it's what I think I understand what you were trying to see. They're trying to overachieve a past trauma. And Keith gives them that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they go and they're accepted and it works out, awesome. But sometimes it doesn't.
No.
And the police show up.
Nobody likes that. Though it ain't none, ain't no bigger buzzkill than them little stupid lights and retarded sirens.
So I guess what do you think kind of drives this new cult? Like what is their goal ultimately? Just to
Well,
to finish Charles' work.
Or I'm sorry, one more time.
I said to finish Charles' work.
Gotcha.
Release it upon the world. Oh, our director is in the chat.
Hey, there he is. What's going on, man?
And I was thinking too, it was a couple weeks ago about why did Keith start Sprouts?
Mm-hmm.
And what I was kind of taking bits and pieces of my own life, just little tidbits, that things that I was doing already, and try and incorporate it into Keith. And what I came up with was the reason Keith is doing this, the whole, I guess the whole benign reason, I'll put it that way, that he is doing this is because he was once in their place and got help. And, it kind of, he worked his way up, got to this point where he was able to open up Sprouts and do that for other people and help them kill their past and bring about a new you. Come on, can I sell you?
No, because you weren't able to control the trauma that was thrust upon you.
Right.
Yeah.
So you take that and you offer, I'm going to take control of my life and help people.
Right.
Make sure they're not the victim and they're not able to not be in control because of their situation. So
speaking of narcissists, always liking that control.
Oh, I was like, excuse me?
No, not you.
Rude. I've had a very bad day and now you're just making fun of me.
Oh no.
Aaron said he was tired of buying weed at retail.
Yep.
Isn't everybody?
That's going to spark a wellness center.
Yeah, which we're actually in talks with 2 dispensaries to be sponsors in the film.
Nice.
Product placement.
Nice. I dig it.
You know how hard it is to find products that just align with a cult?
I mean, there's those like crazy internet DMT salesmen that pop up in your private messages on Instagram. I get them all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's not like, the Slumber Party Massacre where
Right.
we're just,
Oh man. I don't know. I look at paying retail for that stuff is probably better than buying it on the street and going to jail. So I don't know. Sure, it's cheaper, but the price you pay, it's much worse.
Well, here, yeah. I mean, not to get too far off topic, only because I'm close to
we're
Keith.
just turning a corner.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it kind of circles back to what we're talking about. I'm close with
Yeah, that's right,
Keith.
Cody. Or
You know,
getting shit that's laced.
no, very true. Yeah. And I'm kind of like, in a sense, Keith's liaison,
Right.
here. So, but
You
his
are
view.
Keith.
Plain
What?
and simple.
You just are Keith. Own it.
No.
Love it. Work it.
Own it. Love it.
Makes it
Now
all the more
I
believable.
mumbled on. I forgot what the hell I was saying now.
That you were the representative of Keith.
You were the liaison.
I know. I don't know. I don't know.
We've
now.
lost Otis.
We
ladies and
lost Otis.
We lost him. Otis. Come back to us.
Yes, look. There's some devil's
So, what
rejects.
was the most attractive thing to both of your characters that drew you to want to do those roles?
It's going to be very ironic because of the way things turned out. The scene I was involved in was going to be the intense scene.
Mm-hmm.
The one that you're like, what the fuck? Like,
Just happened, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was the scene that was rewritten. And I feel as though now, although the scene would have been memorable for what it was,
Sure.
this scene, I feel like, adds a lot more deeper character development and
Nice.
lets you see why this is going on. And you don't know who to believe,
Right.
So
Yeah.
I went from loving it because of the craziness
Yeah.
to now loving it because of the realness. And I do owe that to Robert Lozardo, who is in our film, Hell's Gate, the movie, on Instagram and Facebook. But I took some of Robert's ideas and I ran with them. And we believe we came up with a great scene. Well, I think I turned one scene into 3 scenes.
Oh, I mean, that's even better. That's just adding more depth and creativity.
And I mean,
how about you? Oh,
why wouldn't I give more? Or why wouldn't I have Robert Lozardo in the film longer?
I mean, of course. How about you, Otis? What drew you to Keith?
Oh, excuse me. I'd have to say, for one, he's a cult leader.
Mm-hmm.
And that in and of itself would attract me to want to read the script and want to play that. And then you get a little deeper, and as we mentioned, the Manson kind of connection out, Helter Skelter to Hell's Gate. I love the whole Manson case. I have read into it, all that, not as much as Robert, but I have looked into it. That's one of my favorite cases.
Isn't it ironic that the person we chose, that I did not know that at the time, because I had not
just did White Trash or American
Trash.
I
had not seen American Trash at that point.
Oh shit! Okay.
So I didn't know about the Manson. I didn't know. So that's why I feel like
it was meant to be.
He was meant to play Blaine.
Yeah.
I think I believe in those things.
Sure,
I
absolutely.
think you're right.
Nothing is mere chance.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Manson connection, that was definitely cool. So that I would say right from the beginning, that's what kind of sucked me into it. Now, of course, the script I read then and the script we have now, two pretty much there's a lot of changes in there. I'll just put it that way. So
Mhm.
But I would say changes that I feel like make it a stronger story.
oh, I agree. I agree absolutely. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
and
because
Great to
sometimes,
see
you
that
know,
we want to have a
it's
complete
evolved,
film.
you know.
We want to have a
right.
complete film. You know,
Absolutely.
yes, you're going to have your crazy gory scenes. I promise you.
That's not what's really selling the film, in my opinion. I think
No.
it's everything else. It's the drama.
Hmm.
Um,
Because we have a full story. We, you
Yep.
know, we have characters who are more than just, you know, a person friends hanging out. You know,
Mhm.
those movies are great because I remember being a kid hanging out with my friends, and we would be scared if we heard, someone snap on twigs.
Yeah.
So we just want to bring it up and show that. And I hope that that's what Aaron thinks.
I'm
If
sure.
not, I'm sure he'll pop in the chat.
You know what? He will now.
Well, he does say 109 pages of mayhem. So
We've agreed that Aaron should not go live. He does not do well.
Oh goodness. So shameless plug time. What are some of the things, as everybody out there in the Black Flame universe knows, that the Indiegogo has been scrolling across the screen for you to go and find ways that you can be part of this?
Yes.
What are some of the cool perks that they can expect?
I think my favorite perk is the FBI's top 10 most wanted poster. And that would be in the FBI director's office with Bill Oberst Jr.
Oh,
And
man.
I thought that was, so that to me, I feel like
Right
it's just
there.
like a fun perk. Like, yeah, my picture could be anywhere, but like now I have a crime.
Mhm.
I have a name.
I'm
It's
somebody.
Hell yeah. Love that.
Well, me personally, I like the speaking of Bill Oberst, I think it'd be cool to add to anyone's horror memorabilia collection.
Yes.
Is it complete without a bill signed by the man himself, Bill Oberst Jr., a signed pick?
Ooh, there you go.
Who doesn't
It's
need
going
that?
to be no, it's going to be his nameplate from his office.
Oh, okay.
You're going to
Who
get
doesn't need that?
you can get Bill Oberst Jr. Well, it'll have his director name.
Mhm.
Nice.
And we'll get him to sign it, and that's going to be on his desk the whole time he's in his office.
Hell yeah.
Maybe he'll get mad and smash it.
Yeah.
Not breaking it, but like just hitting it.
Hell
Because
yeah.
no refunds.
No.
All righty.
I
Any
really
other ones
like
that
him.
stand out?
What's that?
Any other ones that stand out that some of the viewers that have tuned in might want to sink their teeth into?
Do we have do we still have the spend a day on set or something?
Oh yes.
Oh, shit.
Learn to be on a film set.
Oh, that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that.
Yep.
This
so
is probably one of my favorites. Yeah.
So you'll be able to go and, maybe spend an hour with the assistant director, see what they're doing. Go spend an hour with the sound guy, see what he's doing. So it gives you a sense,
Other ways to be involved.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm always telling people, it's like, if you can be an extra, if you can say, hey, I'll hold a boom mic or whatever is necessary, it helps you to get into the industry that way. So a perk that is specifically designed for that, I think, is pure genius.
Yeah.
Whoever
Yeah.
came up with that. For sure.
I do
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
it was Doug. He said an internship and I rolled with it. So I give credit to Doug for that one.
Nice.
Mhm.
All right. And lastly, where can they find you guys on social media so that they can follow the different projects that you're doing as well?
Well, first, make sure you follow Hell's Gate the movie on Instagram and Facebook. Post interactive. We want to know what you think of these things when
Mhm.
So we're trying to get a lot of interaction with you guys, make you really excited, make it as real as it can be.
Yes.
And then just I'm on Facebook, Lydia Manson, and then Instagram, Lydia Manson 88, and the old TikTok, Lydia Manson 88.
Awesome. How about you, Otis? Where can they
Uh,
find you?
I am mainly on Facebook.
Okay.
There, just Otis B. Dreds there. I am on Instagram though. I don't go over there a whole lot, but I am over there. I will get messages if you follow me or whatnot. That's pretty much where I'm at. Mainly on Facebook though.
Yeah.
So.
As always, everybody out there in the Black Flame universe, very approachable and easy to find. And the more that you can help support this film to become, definitely a cult classic, because in my opinion, I think it's quite possible that this could do that. And I wish you guys nothing but the most success with this film.
Thank you
And I
so
look
much.
forward to
Thank
seeing
you.
it myself. I only really put my full support into films that I truly believe in. And I do believe in this one. I have from the beginning. So I'm definitely going to buy something. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to do something. No matter what.
We'll have to keep on checking because, we come up with ideas and we're like, yeah, that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So if we see something really isn't selling, well, why
Switch
are we
them
gonna,
out.
Nothing wrong with
that?
that.
And now you lost
just
your
gives
chance
me
because
more
it might not come back.
Yeah.
So, hell yeah. Thank you guys for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having
thank
us.
you, brother.
Oh,
It was
absolutely,
a
man. And this is what the underground has always been about all these years. The best in underground art and entertainment, especially in the world of indie horror and indie film as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want everyone to think it's just pigeonholed to horror, but it's literally everything. So everybody out there in the Black Flame universe, thank you for joining in. Your comments have been fucking amazeballs as always.
Absolutely. Great interaction. Love it.
Absolutely. Follow them. Follow this film, Hell's Gate, and definitely check out the Indiegogo and see how you can be a part of it.
Hashtag join us.
Yeah, right. Exactly. One of us. One of us. So thank you all so much for tuning in for a double shot Reapers Underground tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Divine Madness with myself and Robert Lizardo as we talk about Hollywood's underbelly during this time period. And, of course, the goddamn program on Saturday night. If you are ready to sin, if you are ready to laugh and step out of your life into something so much more enjoyable, join us then. And most importantly, stay heavy.
Thank you for joining us on Reapers Underground. Stay tuned for more from Black Flame Entertainment.